If you could have any car you wanted, what car would that be? But if you could only have one.
If I can only have one, wow. Well, that's kind of like asking you to pick out your favorite kid. I've never been very good at that, picking out my one favorite car. I jokingly tell people that the favorite car in my collection is the one that I can get in and it starts and runs and drives. That's my favorite one. Old cars are old cars. They're a lot of fun, but I tell you what, they can be a lot of work. And there's always varnished gas and dead batteries and gummed up carburetors and flat tires, and it's always an adventure when you've got multiple cars in a collection. But I tell you what, if somebody walked up to me and held a gun to my head and said, you know, Drew, you get to have one car and one car only. You know, there's a lot of great exotic cars out there, and you could go for a lot of really cool stuff. You could go for an SLR, you could go for a Daytona Coupe, you could go for a lot of really custom one-off crazy things, Ferrari GTO, Bugatti Royale. You know, it's really funny. I've thought about that question a lot. It would have to be a 1965 Shelby GT350. I've probably owned 20 some of those, and every time I have one, somebody kind of talks me out of the car, and I always think, geez, they're probably paying me more than it'll ever possibly be worth, and of course, like a dummy, I sell it to them. And a couple of years ago, I ended up getting my car, and I said, you know what, I'm never selling this GT350. Every time I sell my 65 GT350, I always want one back. Most people that own those cars probably feel the same way. They say, you know what, either I own it and I love it, or I owned it and I sold it and I always wanted that car back. So for me, if you said, hey Drew, here's a sleeping bag and one car, it would be my 65 GT350.
And what do you drive day to day?
What do I drive day to day? Josephine and I drive together all the time. We drive our S55 Mercedes. It's wonderful. It does everything that it's supposed to do. So, you know, I'd like to tell you that I drive a different collector car every day. We try and keep them exercised, but more often than not, you know, I tell you, I spend a lot of weekends driving my old cars. It's always nice to get back in my Mercedes in the week and sort of come back to reality again. So, as undramatic as that may sound, we drive a new Mercedes every day.
Thank you very much.